today like Georgia felt yesterday licking that cupcake liner.
Wow.
It's been a great day. I feel great and you feel great. We both hit it on the same day. And all I can think about is the way I feel is the video I took of Georgia, our little
licking
3-year-old.
that cupcake liner.
She had eaten not the whole cupcake. Her mom and dad don't let her have a whole one, but she had part of one and that was
Party
enough.
poopers.
But then she literally sat there, opened up the cupcake liner and licked it for about 30 seconds.
And Georgia Quinn is?
She is 3 and our sweet grandbaby.
There you go.
I already said that.
Oh, did you really?
I did. But that's how
You
I feel
said she
today.
was 3 and she was our sweet grandbaby.
I did. Wow. But I feel great today.
Excuse me.
Unlike that
we turned the corner.
sounds.
We had the we had the congestion. We had the little a cold.
Yeah, has anybody else had that? I've heard of other people.
Have had it.
And the weird thing is, it doesn't feel like just a cold. It held on for a good week, I think, for me, and probably same.
It's the worst congestion I've had since 2020, and that. We kind of pride ourselves on not being sick and we do all the things, but man, yep, knock on wood. No, it's, and then I started taking all this stuff to try to knock it out and felt like I was knocking it out. Then went to bed. We had, went to bed at 1:30 one day after midnight, couple of nights in a row, had to get up early. And then we had wedding Friday night. Friends in town Saturday, stayed up late playing music Saturday night, had Easter service, and then people over all day Sunday. So it's not like we got any rest. So felt like we got a little relapse during some of that.
Add to your description when you said we stayed up late with friends playing music.
Jamming.
It just sounded like we're in the 70s just sitting around.
That's exactly
listening
what we were
to
doing. No, we were playing music. So I had electric guitar with a buddy, and we had
great.
Had the speaker going. We had the piano going. Yeah, it was fun.
It was so fun.
That was a blast,
and it was very loud. And their kids who are in college were here, and they kept going outside, going, I think the neighbors like 2 houses down can probably hear this. And they were a little bit worried. And I'm like, if 2 college kids are worried about the volume in our house.
And I don't, no, I don't think so.
I was laughing.
I don't, because at this age, I'm trying to be more protective of my ears, which I can't believe I can still hear after what I did, growing up. But I didn't even have it like fully distorted. It was called Wicked Clean. It was a nice little clean sound. I love the guitar.
I'll tell you, it was loud.
Was it?
Yeah, it was loud. But I want you to name, I know you have a very large repertoire. You didn't pick up your electric for a long time, and now you've picked it back up, and you've just been loving to learn, or relearn things. What would you say your favorite song is right now that you're learning note for note?
Well, my favorite song to play on the guitar, and I told you I was going to try to master it like note for note, would be Sultans of Swing. Mark Knopfler's just so freaking good. And it's like, even if I finally did what was the recording that everybody knows and, got it down, then you watch him and he plays, if you watch him play it live, he'll play it different every time. He's just so good. And it's
what
just
about
ridiculous.
Hotel California?
Hotel California's
really
fun, and I did learn that one note for note. Took a couple of weeks and learned every single. Yeah, that's fun. But it's kind of, for me, like jamming for a test. I'll get it, and then if I don't keep playing it, it'll just kind of go away.
Yeah.
I can remember little parts, little riffs here and there, but to string the whole thing together, it'd be like, no, it's gone. But yeah, sometimes if I want to, a little, because that's just the way I work. Instead of just being creative and just messing around and improvising, I like to learn things kind of, the way they're played. And that's just kind of, it was something about my OCD and my memory, just trying to learn that stuff gave me satisfaction. So if, on the piano, it'd be like learning the Bruce Hornsby lead for The Way It Is, get a backing track and just learning that thing and just hacking it out. But then again, if I don't play it every day, for like a month, is what I did when I learned it, then it goes away. There's no way I could just sit down and do all that. And he could, and he'd play different every time.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think some of our listeners may be surprised to know that because if they could see like a picture of you now, you are pretty clean cut, like nice shaven beard, like high and tight, and like you dress nice, they might think that it's such a funny thing.
They'd be surprised
how you were
to know
like in high school.
That when I did get my latest guitar, the first thing I did was go to Van Halen. So Van Halen is my favorite thing. And that stuff doesn't really go away. I can pick up the guitar and play Panama. I start doing some of the licks from Eruption. But I was doing but even AC/DC, Back in Black, and Highway to Hell, Hell's Bells, all these good Christian songs. But those, I think people, if they saw me playing Back in Black, they would just crack up.
Because they're like,
but those are fun to play.
You
shook me all night long. Great title. That one, I can play that one, and that's fun. That's a good little bluesy lead that he does in the middle of that song. That's fun to play. And I think for me, Sultan's is just so. Gosh, I love that thing.
It is good. It's good bluesy kind of sounding. And I'll just brag on you for people who haven't heard you play. Like if you think, even though his name is Hack, you might think, oh, that's probably the kind of guitar player he is, or piano player.
I'm definitely
no. Now at golf, I've never seen you golf, but I believe if you say you're a hack at golf.
You've never seen me golf? Well,
not really.
I don't golf.
Not really.
But you're right. I am a hack on the golf
music,
course. Oh gosh.
With guitar and piano, y'all cannot. He's like a prodigy.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You know who I think about there? Jordan.
Okay. I knew you were going to say.
Hey to Jordan Kreitz.
Hey to Jordan. He is amazing.
The kind, yes.
I get it. But when you go,
I love
like
Jordan. By the way, Jordan Kreitz, Critz. Go find him on Spotify. He is incredible.
We
and
love
his music.
Jordan.
Woo, I love
and
your
Kristen,
music, Jordan.
His sweet wife.
He's a gifted dude. That guy.
Yes, he is.
Talk about a prodigy.
But I want to say that not just me, not because I'm your wife and I'm biased, think that, like many, many people think that about you. The guy that's owned the music store for 34 years, he's like, is he a professional? Whoa.
Well, because he saw that video of me playing the Hotel California lead.
I know.
You know that? Yeah. I did it justice. Yeah.
You're really, really good.
Yeah.
Anyway. All I can say. But you have also put in the reps.
I put in the reps. And what's fun, it's pretty easy now. Just to hear, like for rhythm guitar, I can pretty much play whatever. And it's fun when you play by ear, with a capo, you can just throw on a capo and play to any song and figure it out really, really fast. Usually just hear it and know where they're playing it. And piano now, again, you can, I know most of the keys, but you can transpose and I can play anything because of digital transpose. But anyway, it's fun stuff. Not anything, but most stuff. But it's fun.
So
it's
you
a lot of fun
a lot
for me.
Here at the house,
it's for me. I enjoy it.
But if you could do,
and by the way, can I tell you, I'm so thankful that you love it.
I do love it. I don't get tired of it.
I'm telling you, any woman out there right now listening to this, if your husband has a hobby and he loves it as much as I love playing the piano or guitar, I just hope you're as encouraging to him as Jamie is to me. Instead of, will you turn that dang amp down? Turn that crap off. How long are you going to be in there? Now, if it's noisy, I get it. Or if they're never home, I get it. But man, it's so cool for you to be into that. Even when I was fishing, you text me, you getting into them? You were so excited.
I know, because I love to see you being able to do things that you're passionate about.
And that's not just an automatic. That is, I'm telling you, that is something. I think I wrote about that. That's something I'm very, very happy, and I'm just so thankful. You always tell me. I'll finish just messing around with a song, and I'll hear you from the kitchen just start clapping. Woo! I've got a freaking audience in there.
So what do you say? You've said this quite a bit. What do you say if you would not be able to play piano on the regular?
A part of me would die. It's part of who I am. It's my heart. It comes alive. I sit there and I can look out the back property and watch the Mila chase the squirrels. I can watch the hummingbirds and I can watch the cardinals and, it's cool. The hawks sometimes and just sit there and make stuff up and play. And, it's fun. Yeah. I just love it. I love playing the piano. And now, it's weird because I never got tired of the piano, but I kind of got tired of the guitar. And I think it's too, when you're comparing yourself and, with social media, I started seeing these dudes on Instagram and, YouTube and stuff. And now with TikTok, man, they're just, some of these guys, they're just so freaking good. Made me just want to burn my guitar. But anyway, no, I just got kind of tired of because I felt like I plateaued with my ability on the guitar. And I know that's not true, but it was just a lot more work for me to kind of move forward and progress. And on the piano, I feel like I'm always progressing. Yeah. And just the more familiar you get that keyboard, just the more muscle memory and things just come and you just figure stuff out. And I don't know, I love still to this. I mean, you know that. Yeah. I love, and some days you sit down and there's this creative idea. It just feels like it was downloaded and you just start playing it. I just played a really pretty piece the other day and I told Carson I'm wanting to produce a couple of them. Just I can hear they're more epic kind of soundtrack, like movie theme kind of things. Yeah.
You and Jordan should hook up.
I thought about that. Jordan doesn't have time for me. He's got real business to take care of.
So I know you love playing at home just for us or whoever will listen at home. But do you have anything else you'd want to do with your music?
The itch was scratched for so many years when I was leading worship because a lot of my week was spent finding new music, learning new songs, and then, playing with a band. And there was nothing, I just love playing with the band. So that's fun. And then I didn't do that for years and years. And then I started playing with a couple of guys. And if they're, a fairly decent level of musician, then that's a lot of fun. If they're not, that can turn into a train wreck and a headache real fast. But, I'm not getting any younger. And now what I'm kind of thinking, I would love to do some more gigs with some other dudes.
That'd be fun.
Open mic night or just, gig at some of these places. It'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
Could have a little side gig, put out a little jar, a little tip jar.
That can happen.
Help our family out.
Remember that time I was at a hotel and, anytime there's a hotel piano, I sit down. We were waiting for a Brian Regan concert, this comedian, huge, was it the Majestic? Because that's not too big. Anyway, wherever it was, the lobby was gigantic. It was multi-level and we were upstairs or something. And I sat down at the piano and, just the Elton and Billy Joel and all that. And man, here they came. And that's fun. That was fun. And then somebody asked me to do just for a fundraising gala. I did just play the piano in the lobby, while people were getting there. And I was just doing, I wasn't singing. And a lot of these songs weren't really instrumental. It was, they would be better served with vocals. But anyway, I was just playing. And, so that was fun. And I think it was that gig or maybe another hotel where a guy came up and said, "Was that you on the guitar?" And I was standing in line waiting, at the silent auction. And anyway, the guy bought me a couple of things and just said, "Here you go, man." It was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
He was excited. A couple things that I had in my hand, and he goes, "Here, I'm getting that for him."
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I love it. Anywhere we are, there's a piano. I'm like, if it's unlocked and doesn't have a sign saying you will be arrested,
I will play. I love the piano, but I'm not. If I never played for another person ever, that I'm fine because that it's not about the audience. I think my favorite thing is when no one's here and just go sit down and play. I love it.
I do too. I love it.
So you love it when you're not here too?
Well, no. I love it when I'm here and you play.
What was your favorite part about Easter weekend? I feel like you prepared more mentally and spiritually for it this year.
So I think just leading up to it, I don't know, there's something special just, because the thought is always with you about the impact of, resurrection and what does that kind of life look like every day. But there's something special when it's almost like that, the synergy of many, many people in the world that are celebrating at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like something special happens just knowing it's like it's growing, it's mm-hmm. coming. And so anyway, I felt like it was a really special morning getting to go to church with Chandler and Ryan. And, that was sweet to get to be a part of that with the kids. And then do the little, watch them do the little egg hunt. Then of course, we love to host. That's one of my favorite things, is being able to open up our home. We're so grateful for a place that we can host. And man, the day was perfect. Everything just seemed green and beautiful. And so
it wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. There was no wind.
It had just rained the day before. So I was like, oh, shoot.
If there was one day this week better than Easter Sunday, it would have been today, the weather-wise.
Yeah.
I would have frozen today in time.
So
I told you I'd forgo all the seasons if we could freeze this day every day.
I know.
You wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
it is
so
beautiful.
go ahead.
So I think one of my favorite times was really just sitting out back. And what I've tried to do is, because I have such a hospitality gene, I could be, a Martha, just nonstop. Because when you have 20 people over, there is always, always, always something you can be doing. You can be going behind people and picking up. You can be going ahead and washing the dishes so you don't have them all at the end. You could be putting up food.
You want to explain for people who don't know what you mean by be a Martha?
So one day there were these two sisters,
in
Mary
the
and
Bible.
Martha. And Jesus came for a visit, and Martha was doing all the things, and Mary just wanted to be with Jesus. And so she was like, Jesus, Martha is getting on my last nerve. She's not doing what's right. She's not over here sitting with you. And Martha's like, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so there was this whole thing about, do you want to be a Mary Hart in the Martha world or something? There's a book written about it. Anyway, so the
one being busy, taking the rolls out of the oven and making the deviled eggs versus the one who's sitting in there talking with Jesus.
I would always tend to be the Martha because there's just always something to do. And what I've realized is, because I've spent enough holidays when we've had people over that I have such a Martha heart, that I'm just doing around the whole time, that when it's time and everybody leaves, I just am like, wow, I didn't get to talk to anybody. I didn't get to really sit and visit and hear someone's heart, look them in the eye. And, I've missed it a lot. And so I notice now, after doing it, kind of for me, the wrong way, because you miss out on so much. I did it too many times that way, that now I kind of try to prepare ahead of time and go, okay, what are some things I can do before people ever get here, like the day before, so that all that stuff leading up to it is already finished. And when people get here, I can just have an open heart. And I picture myself with the people that are going to be here, and I try to say, okay, what conversation can I have with Chandler, our daughter, or Ginger, Ryan's mom? I picture the people here going, okay, what's been happening in their world? What can I ask them about? Because I am interested, but you really have to. Some people don't have to think this is what they're really good at, but I have to really put myself into the position and picture, okay, these are the people that are going to be here. Yeah. These are some things that I can ask them about, and be very intentional with how I spend my time, and think, what, I can get all that stuff done, later. Right now, I want to spend time with people. So I would stop, look around in the backyard and just watch. I would listen and I would watch, and I would see everybody over in this corner just talking. And when y'all were all talking about who had the best Mexican food, I was sitting there just watching and listening, just going, man, I love that. And then
do you hear him making fun of me for rolling my R's?
Oh, yeah.
Because I made the mistake of saying tortilla, or no, it wasn't Lupe's tortilla. I don't say tortilla. I say Lupe's
Los
tortilla.
Compadres.
Los Compadres, and Shannon's like, oh, quit just rolling your R's, because there's a girl here from, she's
from Mexico.
From Mexico. And she goes, yeah, it is given trying a little too hard.
Yeah, that was so funny.
But I do say Los Compadres all the time now.
You do.
Instead of, it's not like I was, anyway. But I wanted to say something about the people. So we got 20 people.
Yep.
Of course, kids, grandkids, they're all running around. And so it's easy to watch the kids and to be playing with them. And I'm swinging them, and we're on the hammock, and we're, I've got them all going at the same time on the swing or the slide. But no one was in a hurry to leave. Like, everybody showed up at noon, and at like 6:30 p.m., they're talking about doing supper. And I'm like, man, dude, I couldn't be spooking up hungry after what I did for lunch. But they're making dinner plans. And after all the Mexican food talk, I think they were just going to go grab some Mexican food. But people, they were not in a hurry. They were all just, I'm kicked back. No one was on their phone. No one was on their phones. And I've had some company recently, and that seemed like a couple of them, that's all they did. They were just staring at their phones. And these, like, all ages, no one was on their phones, and they wanted to hang out. It was just, let's just hang out and visit, like you said, and like be interested and be curious and talk with people and look them in the eye and listen. It was, that's the greatest gift. Yeah. The gift of your presence and not being distracted. And that was really, really cool. I love that.
Yeah. And I think, when you and I, we love to host, we love to have people over. And I really feel like we're mostly, I mean, always kind of on the same page about, like, we want, of course, we like, clean and whatever, pick up and all that. We're ready for people. It's not like the house is a wreck, but we have more.
If they get here after the grandkids have showed up, it is a wreck.
Well,
I mean, it's just true. A bomb is blown up, and we don't care. We love it.
But
Signs
I think
of life,
we
baby.
both have the feeling of
they're coming for us.
We have this welcoming presence. Like, man, we really want to value this time with you, and everyone's welcome here. So there's always people who, like, we don't know very well, and people invite other people, and we love it like that. And so I feel like that you can feel that when you walk into a home. Whether
I think we were
whether the host is like uptight and like
talking to a couple recently, and they fight about the house, and it's like, because they said their definition of clean are different. They're two different definitions of what clean means. And so I said, yeah, you can get worried about the wrong stuff, because people, they're not paying attention to that. And, if you're worried about what your yard looks like when they drive up and they walk in, they're not looking at your yard, unless it's just like a nightmare, like, foot tall weeds. But they're coming in, they're there to see you and to visit you and to be with each other. And it's just, there's too much, isolation these days. There's a lot of loneliness. And so I loved how no one was in a hurry to leave. Yeah. It was just, the whole crew, man, everybody stayed. And so we did have a cool announcement yesterday.
That was such a fun part.
So it was the gender reveal. Christian and Emily have number 2 on the way. You heard it here first, because the word is out. And we found out yesterday, as we bit into the cupcakes, that they are having another little girl. And
Charlotte's going to have a sis.
I will say this on the family. I was pretty proud of the dad joke. So the puns fly once we get the family text going.
Oh, my word.
And when they were talking about the gender reveal, and, it was in the Easter theme, I went ahead and went out there and said, the womb is not empty. And I thought that was pretty good.
It was.
The womb is not empty. And we won't. So then it started all the other stuff. Oh my gosh. No, there was some other inappropriate ones.
Yeah, you probably can't say some of them.
No, I won't. But that was a good one. I got some good props for that, and I deserved them. That was rightly so. So that was very, very cool, and that was special. But I want to go back to, speaking of the womb is not empty. When you say, and I talked about your preparation, like mentally and spiritually for Easter. I think some people, when Easter's over, it's over. And for us, I feel like it's the beginning of something. It's starting something. And so when you think about Resurrection Sunday, you know, and the tomb being empty, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for our marriage? What are some things that you celebrate when you just think of the power of an empty tomb, like that Christ is risen? You know, we say all these things. What does that mean to you?
Hope. I would say, you know, when you think something looks like all is lost and seems completely hopeless, it's not.
It may be Friday, but Sunday's coming, baby. No,
and I think, I just made that noise in the microphone. Sorry.
Okay.
That was horrible. Sorry. I did that with
I don't have to listen to it.
I did that with my mouth. Okay. Anyway, I think back to when, like in our marriage, where it felt hopeless, almost hopeless, where I couldn't really see a way out. I couldn't see that we could stay in the place where we were. Something had to change, and we both knew it. I feel like even then, there was always this little flicker, like even if it was a tiny, tiny flicker, I felt like there was always a little tiny flicker of hope. Like I knew that something could change. I didn't know how it would change, but I was open to it. My heart was open to, okay, how's this I don't know how we're going to get through this, but I feel like we will. And I don't know why, but I feel like that's kind of always my attitude or my perspective. You know, after we lost Corbin, our 2-year-old son, you know, at my lowest of lows, like deep depression, even then I felt like, okay, I don't feel like this already feels like it's going to go on forever. I don't see a way out. One day feels like a week or a month or a year. Like, how do people grow through this? I don't ever know how I'm going to experience joy again. So I didn't know how I would, but I felt like I would. I didn't feel like it was going to be the end. So I think whether it's our marriage or whether, you know, me personally, dealing with depression after the loss of a son, at the lowest of lows, I still felt like there was going to be something on the other side of it. There was going to be a resurrection. Had no clue how it was going to happen, but I just believed it was there. So for some reason, that's in me. So I don't know if it's, you know, something my mom and dad kind of lived with and I just learned that from them. If it's, I don't know, what do you have to say about that? Why do I have that? But even when I felt like, okay, it really feels like I want to throw in the towel, or it really feels like I will never reach the other side of this depression or feel joy again, but I still would just feel a glimmer. I don't know.
No, that's evident. I mean, either your story is written and wherever you find yourself, like right now, whatever circumstance you're in, that's it and that's the end. Or there's a chance that something can die and that something can be resurrected. And, you know, we've talked about roar so much on this podcast, but the wisdom pattern, you know, life, death, resurrection. There's got to be a winter before there's a spring. Something's got to die.
Yeah.
And many times we're just really trying hard to keep things propped up or we stay in death. But man, you just know there's always hope, man. Sun will come out tomorrow. Right. And that's evident in you, that you exude that. And I think you've got to live there. And a lot of people, I mean, some people that don't even believe in a bodily resurrection, they believe that it was just talking about a transformation that can happen. There can be a like a symbolic resurrection in a life. And obviously we believe that if somehow I could go back and see the stone, it would be rolled away and there would be like Jesus walk out of that tomb, or he disappeared wherever he was gone, and he lives, right? Death could not hold him, right? And so like, for me, it just means so many things. Just that hope of resurrection after a death. It's taught me that I need to allow some things to die. Baptism is not a one-time event. It's like, there's a lot of deaths that have happened in my life, and that it's always been followed by a resurrection. And so many times the last thing I would have chosen would be the death. It's the enlightenment at gunpoint, But when I did, and I allowed the new man to walk, or the new life, or the new marriage, the new job, it's like, there's new life.
Wow.
And that spring that comes, and it's just, it's really
so
cool.
good,
And just know that there's power, and death. And that whole thing, where's death? Where's your victory? And what is the scripture? Death has no
sting.
No. Wow. Come on, somebody, help us out. I keep on wanting to quote it. Like, where is thou victory? Where is thy sting? That's not it. I don't think that's it. Anyway, it's probably Paul saying something there. We could cut this out if we need to.
Go ahead.
But it's not the death, the grave cannot hold him. It's not, it's like, that's not the end. And so it makes me think of eternity. That's where I was going with that. So eternal life, I used to think that eternity, like you die and then eternity begins. And what I know now, because of the empty tomb, that death is just like the physical body death. It's just an event.
Yeah.
And it's like we switch bodies. So eternity has already begun. We just switch bodies because we're in eternity. It's already begun. So we live forever, and we're well taken care of, and we're loved in some form, right? And so that's kind of what I think about with,
that's
oh,
so
death, where is your sting? Oh, grave, where is your victory? Okay, we were kind of close. 1 Corinthians 15:55.
I think there is a song too, and you were probably trying to think of the verse and the song.
Yeah.
Maybe you should sing it.
Oh, death, where is your sting? Oh, Hades, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Woo!
1 Corinthians.
Holy Ghost power.
That was
that's
really
good,
babe.
So I wonder if you're finding yourself on Excellent Monday. It was Good Friday and Excellent Monday. I would always skip school, and so I called it Excellent Monday. But if it's not so excellent for you, I would just ask everybody to just think, what does resurrection mean? What does the empty tomb mean? Not what it meant, or maybe what it means for some time in the future. What does it mean, like right now? What does it mean for you today? What is that power?
Yes.
How does it translate to your life today? The same power that raised Jesus Christ from the dead lives in us. And if you believe that, then what does that mean? Yeah,
and
cool.
who can you share that hope with? That resurrection power hope that we just talked about. I feel like
do you really believe it? And if you believe it, like, how is it affecting your behavior? And who are you sharing it with? And how does that make you show up when you're talking to people and when you're thinking about like the state of the world right now, any fears you have? Man, one of the things I think about a lot is I'm very curious about what's next.
Yeah.
When, beyond the grave, right? So it's interesting.
I can't talk about this for too long because I'll cry on the podcast. But if I ever think about if you were to die before me, I think other than like just
how quickly you'd be on that dating site.
Shut up.
Swiping left.
Shut
Is
up.
it right?
Let me finish.
Okay.
Other than me just crying myself to sleep all day and all night. someone call 911 and come help me, please. But other than that, I think I will just have, and anyone who knows you would feel like this. All the kids would say this. He knows. Gosh, I told you. I just think you've got this brilliant mind and you cannot turn it off and you question everything. You've always been that way. So you just always have these deep, deep theological questions where I'm more like Rue. I'm more like a 5-year-old. Like, you know what? It just is what it is. I don't have to understand it.
And unless you become like little children,
good,
you will never enter the kingdom of
You just
heaven.
always have these deep, deep questions. And I will feel like he finally knows.
Yeah. Yes. I was right.
No, I think you're going to be like, well, crap.
I
wasn't one of the things.
Truly think, yes, the minute your eyes close here and open on the other side, I think my first thought is going to be, oh my gosh, we were way off. We were way off.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think.
What is it? Like no eye has seen or no ears can hear what?
Like,
I don't know.
Like,
I'm trying to pull up.
It's a little warm in here.
Stop. Someone turn the heat on.
All right. Resurrection. The tomb is empty. Jesus lives. He is risen.
Excellent
and that means
Monday.
Excellent Monday. He lives in you.
Yeah.
I prayed at a wedding that I did this last weekend, and I said, I love it. God, he is so good to us. And I say, first, he calls us his children. He calls himself our Father. And he said, let us make man in our image. So he made us in his image, and he said, it is good. So when you're celebrating with each other and you're celebrating each other, you're celebrating God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, happy post-Easter, excellent Monday. And by the time this comes out, we will have a Natty Champ, NCAA men's basketball. So who's it going to be? Who you picking, UConn or Michigan?
I think I'm going with the Illini.
No, Illinois is out. Good night. Okay.
I just like to say that.
You just like to say Illini. Okay, so I got to pick the Ukes. So come on, UConn.
Okay.
I need you, UConn. I need you tonight. Man, Michigan's good, but I need UConn. So come on, Ukes.
Okay, that's good. All right, well.
So
I guess after this podcast, what we're going to be doing is watching a little game.
Later.